Welcome back to Sibling Rivalry, episode 6. We'll actually
Yeah.
remember to do the intro at the start this week, rather than
In the
halfway
middle.
through the episode. It's going to be a bit of a different one, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been
Quite a week.
quite a week, and particularly quite a day, which is hence me having a pint to try and
Calm
down a bit. So, weirdly, last week was Mental Health Awareness Week, and we didn't talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
We completely forgot. And then my mental health fell apart.
Yeah.
So I sort of over the past 18 months, wasn't it? I've done loads of work on getting myself into a good mental state. Because I always had this sort of feeling that was like an overriding emotion in everyday life for me. I always felt guilty about nothing. You know, I hadn't done anything to make me feel guilty. I just had a constant
nagging
feeling of
like
guilt.
was it like a nagging feeling?
And it would eat away at me and eat away at me. And I spent so much time trying to become comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah.
And be comfortable in my own company as well. Because after the breakup, that was the first time I'd been on my own for like 8 years.
Yeah.
And it was a very isolating time for everyone because of the pandemic.
Yeah, because that was hard enough on that was really hard on everyone, wasn't it?
And then so sort of it was probably after the pandemic when I made real strides with it. And then going on holiday was kind of the culmination of all of that hard work to see how I coped on my own. And I found it difficult at times, don't get me wrong.
But you still enjoyed it.
Overall, it was really good, and I'd do it again. And then, so probably before Christmas, if I'm honest with myself, I've really, really struggled with work. I'm not gonna, I won't slate the job or anything because it's not my style. But it was been really stressful, and it became even more stressful because I was previously on a team with 4 people when I originally took this new role on, and then in January it was essentially I was on my own till halfway through April, and it was just relentless and brutal, and
it became too much for you.
It just took so much out of me, and I don't feel like I got enough in return. I don't feel like it was recognised, and I've got a lot of issues with the place that I won't sort of publicly there. But I wanted to leave before Christmas, but then the other girl on my team left, so they would have been left with no one. And probably stupidly now, well, it was stupid. I decided to stay for like the business's sake, so that they had someone.
Yeah.
And I've been in this job for like nearly 7 years now. So we've been taken over by a new company, a much bigger company, and my job roles changed. But I started with the company I originally worked for like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And then this morning, I had a meeting and I wasn't very happy with what got said, essentially. And I felt like I felt like the difficulty of the last few months for me individually hasn't really been taken into account.
Yeah.
And no one had.
Yeah, because you felt like under pressure.
Yeah, and you've seen it, haven't you? How stressed I've got.
Yeah.
And I was really good before I ended switching off from work.
And it's been really difficult for you lately.
I just haven't been able to do it. And it's starting to affect me.
Yeah, because like your
now.
head's running like a mile a minute, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, like, you just feel like you can't.
So I haven't been able to like detach from it, and it started to affect my personal life. Like, I'm quite an early bird normally, and I've been getting up later and later, like because I haven't wanted the day to start, essentially, because I haven't wanted to do my job.
Yeah.
And then after the meeting this morning, I had a conversation with Mum, and you were there as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
And I talked about wanting to hand me notice in, even though I haven't got another job lined up yet. But I've done that now. I've handed me notice in, so I'll be leaving my current job soon. And it sounds like such an insignificant thing in the grand scheme of like your life, but the job has started to dominate my life. And we're only recording this, it's like 6:30 on Monday, and we normally do it over the weekend, but my head's been kettled all weekend, and I've been in pain with my back and stuff as well. But that's the main reason, was I just mentally wasn't in a good place.
You were drained.
Yeah. So I've handed me notice in this morning, and then I had an email talking about like kind of asking me if I was sure that that's what I wanted, essentially, and I was given till the end of the day to like rescind it if I wanted to. But I've made my decision now. I'm definitely leaving, and having done that, I'm even more confident that it was the right thing to do now that it's done. So obviously it's a massive shift. Like I'm anxious because I don't know what I'm going to do, obviously, when I leave.
No, but it'll be a relief in the long run.
Yeah, well, definitely. And if anybody else was in my situation, I would tell them just leave the job. It isn't worth your mental health.
Yeah, because Mum
We essentially all had this conversation with you, didn't we, when you were stressed?
Yeah.
And you've left, and it's benefited you massively, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I've had other benefits as well, haven't I? Because I've been doing counselling and stuff, haven't I? And that's really helped me a lot.
But it came to a bit of a head last night, really, before this morning. So this morning kind of put the nail in the coffin, really, when I had that meeting, and I wasn't very happy with
what was said.
Yeah, so I've said this to my manager anyway, but it's not her. She's the one I had the meeting with.
Yeah.
And she's got to sort of relay back to me what has been said from above. But she's great, and I found that conversation with her really difficult, because I kind of lost my temper in this original meeting. I lost my temper essentially and just had a big rant about how tough I found it and how little I feel like I've been supported in that. And then when it came down, I was in a bad place this morning, wasn't I? I think it was quite clear that I was a bit of a mess.
You were.
So I've handed my notice in. I've got to find a new job now, which is crazy because I've been here, like I say, nearly 7 years. Quite daunting. But I already feel like I've made the right choice, and I haven't left yet. So I've got a meeting tomorrow morning to find out when the last day is going to be. And to their credit, they've actually said, because you've mentioned that you're struggling with stress and stuff, that they're willing to let me leave before the end of my 4-week notice period. So I'll find out tomorrow sort of where I'm at with that. But obviously that happening, and it wasn't planned. I wasn't planning on quitting today.
No.
I wasn't really planning on, it wasn't in my head to do it anytime soon. I've wanted to leave for a long time, but I needed a push this morning, I think.
What, from Mum?
Well, I think it was sort of just, I needed somebody else to tell me that it was the right thing to do. Do you know what I mean?
Just give you that boost.
Because I didn't know whether I was just in a bit of a rut. But I've felt like this 4 or 5 times, something in the past 6 months. And
having a conversation with me and Mum, like, kind of give you the
final. Yeah, and it's making me really unhappy. And at the end of the day, I don't think any job is worth that.
No.
But sorry, I was mentioning it last night before today even happened. I had a bit of a wobble, and I looked up like counselling and stuff, and then I nearly phoned Samaritans. I wasn't suicidal or anything like that, and I don't think I'm depressed. I think I'm just really stressed, but I kind of just didn't know where to go, and I was a bit lost. And then for that to happen this morning, while I was already feeling on edge and a bit wobbly, it was just, I had to make a decision today, really. I just had to, something needs to change for me to be able to.
Yeah.
Because I've not even been doing gigs for the past couple of weeks.
No.
I didn't do one for a couple of weeks before I went on holiday. I've struggled to find the mental energy to do this, and I love doing this. It's so much fun, and I love gigging. I love doing stand-up, and I haven't been able to like mentally talk myself into doing that. So it's been a roller coaster of a day for me, really. But I feel good about the decision. I'm obviously just still, there's fear and
there's a lot of emotions.
Yeah, and obviously I'm scared about what the future will hold now, because I don't know obviously what job I'm going to end up doing. But I just have to believe something will come along that's right for me, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have been all over the place for, well, definitely today. Definitely today's been one of the strangest
But ever
days.
since January, you've kind of been like...
Yeah, I've been up and down, haven't I? And I think you've been able to see it probably more than I've realised. I've thought I was kind of probably handling it better than I was. And like I said, I wasn't drinking in the house or anything. I'm sitting here having a beer. But I'm all right with that because it's just, I'm not planning on getting hammered. I just need to have a couple of drinks to switch my head off, and then I can get a good night's kip. But yeah, that's so for you guys listening or watching or whatever. That's why this week's podcast's been a bit late, because I've just not been in a particularly good place. And I'm really passionate about people's mental health, and I really care about it.
Yeah, because dealing with mental health issues is hard. Like, no matter what you're dealing with, like anxiety, depression, anything else, really.
Yeah, and I care so much about other people, and I always try and be there for other people, and I've not been taking care of myself, and
Which you've needed to.
I've realised sort of over the past few days that I need to start prioritising my own happiness a little bit more again.
Yeah.
Instead of just
trying to make other people happy.
And sort of, I feel like I've just been cracking on doing my job and kind of waiting for something to happen. And what nothing's going to happen. I have to
do it yourself. You have to make it happen yourself.
So it's time for a change. I'm scared. I'm very scared. It's daunting, but I'm also super excited to sort of start a new chapter in my life. I feel like I can leave all of the difficulties of the past few years sort of behind me when I start a new job.
Yeah.
And hopefully start doing more gigs again and really throw myself into doing this as well. So yeah, it's been a wild day. And then after work I had to go to physio as well. So I had a physio appointment, just literally got back about 10 minutes before we started recording, didn't I? So I've got problems with my back and my knee. So I've got to see 2 different specialists. So I've got to see a physio who's looking after my knee, that was my first appointment today. And then I've got an osteopath who's looking after my back, which I start the sessions with her. So I've had like a consultation.
Yeah, don't you start with her
next
in June?
month? Yeah. So even after work, I kind of haven't had time to process anything.
Yeah. Because you've just been like on the go.
Yeah, and then now we're doing this, which, to be honest, I've just sort of talked for like 12 minutes there, and it's helped.
Yeah.
Just saying the words out loud.
Yeah, because I think if you close yourself off, it makes it worse.
Yeah, you were very nice this morning, weren't you, when I was struggling and you gave me a hug.
Yeah. I could see you were struggling. I was like, do I?
I'm not a crier, am I? Like,
no, I thought you were going to start, that's why.
And it's not because of that sort of, I'm not trying to be macho or anything, I just don't cry very often. I wish I did. We talked recently, didn't we, about the fact that I'd had a wobble before work and just burst into tears in the morning, which is like the first time I've cried in years.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure this morning whether I was going to go. I assume there will be a day over the next week or so where it kind of just all hits me. But
yeah.
But
because it will at some point.
Yeah. But you and Mum were both very supportive. And I feel very fortunate to have that network of people in my life. Even Ben, when I told him.
Yeah, we've always been like that though as a family.
Yeah, Ben has surprised me a bit over the past few years. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that, but he has become so much better at understanding mental health himself, I think.
Yeah, because
recognising, because me and you have both had our issues.
Yeah, because I used to work in the same place as Ben, didn't I? And I think he's noticed it because of...
And he's become sort of a real rock. And he was straight away just like, okay, that he said, he's been telling me since last year I need to leave, because he could see what it was doing to me.
Yeah.
all of that work I'd done was sort of just been unravelling over the past few months, and I can't let that happen because I was in such a bad place that I can't go back there.
Yeah. Because if you if you remember during your comedy nights, I had a bit of a wobble towards.
Well, I've got the comedy night written down to talk about in the second section.
Okay, yeah,
So if you
I'll
don't
talk
mind,
about that.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll talk about that in the second section.
Because I think there's quite a lot to talk about there anyway, isn't there?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had a crazy day and an emotional day and
Yeah.
a challenging day, really. But
it's just been a lot.
yeah, it's been a lot, but it's put things into motion that have needed to happen for a long time in terms of me leaving this job.
You just needed like a final push from us all, really, didn't you?
And that's happened now, so we'll see what the future holds. I'm quite excited for it, like I say, and especially because there's going to be a little period where I haven't got a job where I'm going to have time to really throw myself into this and
where you can like focus on other things, not just
I can be. I'll probably like I've struggled so much to be creative recently. I haven't written jokes, and you know what? I'm always trying to make people laugh, aren't I? And I've lost that edge a little bit recently, and I'm recognizing me not being myself.
Yeah.
But then I come back from physio, and Mum told me you've been to see Nan and Grandad's grave today, and I didn't even realise you'd been out.
Yeah, I did.
Like that's how much my head's been battered.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
It was hard. I mean, it's not. I think it's been like the second time I've been since Nana passed away.
Because we just found out. Well, not found out. We suppose we knew, but we sort of realised before it's nearly 2 years since she died, didn't we?
Yeah. Which seems crazy, and it's nearly been 18 since Grandad died.
Yeah. So how did you find? Because I've never been to see the graves, because it's just not
your thing.
It's not my and I'm quite a staunch atheist, aren't I? And I kind of think the end's the end, and I don't know what it'd do to me, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know how I'd find the whole experience, but I know some of the family go quite a lot, don't they?
Yeah.
And what did you speak to them when you were there?
Yeah, I just said like how we all were and what we were dealing with and stuff. I said the dog's still as nuts as ever, which is true.
Well, she was funny, wasn't she, when I was getting ready for my physio appointment?
Oh yeah, she thought you were taking her out.
And she went nuts, didn't she? So what did you? It's like I say, I've never been, so I don't really know what you do. So you just went and sort of did you sit down by the graves and stuff?
Yeah, well, it's just like the one headstone, isn't it? Because they're together. But yeah, like I just sat. Yeah, I just sat and like spoke to them. Ooh.
How did you feel sort of before and after it?
I felt alright before it. I mean, I felt like it was needed.
What made you decide to go?
I just had a feel, you know, when you get like a sort of feeling that you need to do something. That's kind of what happened.
So you just kind of, you've been on a bit of a loose end for a few days, haven't you? You haven't really known also like what to do with yourself during the day and stuff.
No.
So was that just an idea you hadn't?
Yeah, and I thought it'd be nice to go there again. But yeah, like I just sat and spoke to them. I cried because it was a bit hard.
Well, yeah, it's emotional, isn't it? Because especially when you're at the gravestones, it's like, I suppose it kind of hammers home that they're gone, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, how did you feel afterwards?
I felt really good afterwards. Like I felt really better. Like I felt a lot better than.
Like a weight had been lifted a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I know Brenda goes, doesn't she, sometimes? Or Peter's been a few times.
Our Jules been a few times as well. I think our Janet's been as well.
It's good that I'd like to see this. Is sometimes I dislike that side of myself, that I'm so much of a sort of non-believer in any afterlife, because I don't get to have those experiences. But I don't think it would do for me what it does for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't realise, like I say, I've been so caught up in my own head, I didn't even realise you'd had quite an emotional day as well.
Yeah.
And Mum told me before, and I kind of wanted to find out what it was like. Like I say, what did you, how did you, these are probably stupid questions, but like when you got there, how do you sort of like, what do you do?
Well, I just say hi to them and stuff. I know they can't actually answer back. But I think they kind of showed me a sign that they were there.
Oh, really?
Because I looked down at my left shoulder and there was a flower there.
Yeah.
I was like,
Freak you out a bit.
yeah. I was like, who put that there? And then I was like, Grandad.
He loved his garden, didn't he?
Yeah, and I was like,
That's why I've got this tattoo, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's an
I was like,
orange
I was
rose.
like, that's definitely Grandad, that.
Because my granddad loved roses, didn't he?
And like, love the colour orange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I am sentimental and I do care and I do miss them, but I'm not like,
Yeah.
I don't think I'd find any value in that.
Losing Nan hit harder for me because I didn't really know Grandad.
You were only 2 when he died, weren't you?
Yeah, I didn't really know him before he died, and Nan was like such.
Well, even for us, me and our Ben, like, there'd been such a decline in because he had dementia. There'd been such a decline in I don't really remember him being well. I just remember him.
Yeah, well, I didn't really know him at all, did I?
No, I just remember him not being well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, seeing Nan deteriorate, it was hard enough, like really hard.
And that was
I'm not
completely different kind of. She was still mentally very much there, wasn't she?
Yeah, but she was just.
She was so funny when she wasn't well during the end. She just stopped giving a shit.
Yeah, she did.
And it was brilliant. And she had a wicked sense of humour.
Oh, she did. She really did.
And
some of the things she'd come out with, you'd swear. Honestly, some of the things she came out with would sound like some of the things our like Grandad would come out with as well.
I don't know if I've ever told you the story about when I went one time with Mum to have lunch.
Was this to Nan's?
Yeah, it must have been probably 4 or 5 years before she died. I had the day off work when she was going, so I was like, I'll go and see her. And obviously, you know what it's like in Nan. She's not got the TV on or not. You sit in the kitchen, don't you?
Well, normally she's watching the telly when you walk.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Dead loud.
No, but she couldn't hear it, could she?
No, but so you'd sit and do crosswords and stuff, though, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, I think you told us this story.
Have I told you? And,
when you were sitting doing the crossword with her or something like that?
No, I wasn't doing it with her, but I was just doing.
She was doing the crossword.
So she'd done some of it, and she was like done with it. So that was the thing with her. She would only let you have a look at the crossword if she decided she couldn't do it.
She used to do that.
Yeah. She'd had enough essentially, so you were allowed to have a look then.
I'd be sitting there like that.
And I was reading, obviously, some of the questions, and I knew an answer to one of them, and I went to go and write it in, and I'm like, that word that she's put in
is wrong.
It must be wrong because it doesn't start with that letter. The word I'd found, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Must have been an O.
Wasn't it a president, American president?
Well, that was the question. Was who's the current US president? And it said then like Barack or something maybe in brackets.
Yeah.
And it was Barack Obama, obviously, but she put Barack Obama. So she's put like BARMA. So I just fell apart when I realised what she'd done, and then we told her, and she was laughing. That was what I just popped into my head because we were talking about.
Yeah, I think she was watching something on the telly at one point. I wasn't there, but I think Mum was, and I think our Peter was. I know it was our Peter, actually, and she went to our Peter. Oh, is that Benedict Cumberbatch?
I think she called him Benedict Cumberbund once as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she definitely got it wrong a few times.
Yeah, but our Peter just lost her.
Yeah, she was hilarious, man.
Yeah, she was.
Right, should we have a quick break and then come back and try and do some funnies?
Yeah.
That was obviously quite a different first section, but I think we both had a lot to process from the day, and this was kind of the first opportunity we've had to talk to each other.
Yeah.
So it's happened on pod, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes down with people.
It might help some people as well, mightn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
In a way.
I suppose because we're both quite honest about our struggles.
Health.
Yeah. So we'll have a quick break, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about the comedy night a little bit.
Yeah.
And we'll do some would you rathers, and then we'll call it a day. So we'll see you shortly. We're cutting that out.
Alright, so we're back.
We are back. So this section, we talk about the comedy night. Got a couple of would you rathers, and then we'll call it a day, and I can try and switch off a bit. So it was your first time at the comedy night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was a bit of a different one because I didn't host it this
Yeah.
month. It was
An all-female
it was an
lineup.
all-female lineup, yeah, and I just got to sit with you, didn't I? Which was quite nice for
Yeah.
me. How did you find it?
I found it good. Like, I really enjoyed it.
Bit mad, innit?
Yeah.
It was a lot busier than last month as well. One of the acts brought like crew with her, didn't she?
Yeah. Good.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, and it was nice to put an all-female lineup on. And they all did really well, didn't they? It was a good
Yeah, they
night.
really did. Yeah.
And we had our game of pool, didn't we, for the
Yeah.
next month's punishment. It was the worst game of pool of all time, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that'll be coming. I think it was the 8th of June, was it? Something like that. We said. Can't remember. Whatever the first one in June is.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's coming. And there'll be a punishment along with it. But we might release it separately. I'll sort of see how
things go.
Yeah. Because I'm definitely going to have to edit the game of pool down a little bit. Because obviously it weren't great viewing for some of it, was it?
No. That and I think our Ben forgot to record some of it as
well.
well.
Our Ben forgot to record some of it, yeah, and it was still too long.
Because it took forever.
Yeah. And then afterwards you had a bit of a wobble, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it was because I was tired as well, and I'm not used to.
Well, we were out till quite late as well. Well,
Yeah.
Not quite late, but
I don't think that I was expecting that either.
we were playing games of pool, weren't we?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, towards the end, I started to get quite shaky, didn't I?
Was it your anxiety?
Yeah.
Did you have a panic attack, or did you just feel really anxious?
I was shaking, and then I went into the bathroom, and then I did cry.
Yeah.
And then Maddie, Ben's girlfriend, came to check in on me.
Yeah,
She
was
scared
good with you, wasn't she?
She scared the crap out of
Did
me
she?
coming in the bathroom. I wasn't expecting anyone to come in, so I was like, "Oh Jesus!"
She was good with you, though, wasn't she?
Yeah. She got me a taxi home, and she came in the taxi with me, so I wasn't
on your own.
Yeah, so that was really nice.
Yeah. Still, I enjoyed it though. Did you enjoy it other than that?
Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed it other than that.
You're going to come again and maybe just come home after it, so you're not out?
Yeah. Because I'm not used to being out, really, am I? Like,
and you don't drink, and we were all drinking.
Yeah.
So it was a bit.
I think that was also why as well, because
Yeah.
you were all having a drink and stuff, and
set you off a bit, just being out late and not being drunk.
Yeah. Well, I don't really like to drink, do I?
No.
It was still fun though.
Yeah, are you glad you came though?
Yeah.
You're gonna come again, do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't miss it.
I can't remember. I think June the 8th might be the date of the comedy night next month, actually.
I think so, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, you said you said June the 8th.
But a girl called Lou hosted this. She was brilliant.
Oh yeah, she was really funny.
She did well. She got the room going, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
And then we had, I can't remember all the bloody acts now. Annabelle was on first, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was good. I love her. She's brilliant.
Then we have that woman from Scotland.
Yeah, Jackie Boy.
Yeah.
And then there was Jane Postlethwaite, and Mary Cross was the one who brought a firm of people with her, didn't she?
She brought a wife, didn't she?
Yeah, a wife and loads of her friends and family.
Yeah,
because I think it was one of the first gigs she's done, like, really local to where she lives.
Yeah, because she lives on
the Wirral somewhere though, doesn't she?
Yeah. I think it's in Birkenhead.
And then afterwards we were laughing. One of the acts, Jackie Boy, was saying we were so close to having an LGBT night as well, because like 4 of them were gay, weren't they?
Yeah.
It was just Lou letting the side down with her getting married to her soon to be husband.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed sort of giving other people
a chance
to sort of take over the night. And after I booked the acts and it was all women, I didn't want to host it. I felt a bit weird about hosting it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I quite enjoyed just being able to watch and take it in as well. I was quite anxious before it, wasn't I? Which I was surprised about, because I didn't have to do anything. But because it's sort of my night.
No, but you just wanted it to go well.
I just wanted it to go well, yeah. It was brilliant. And a couple of people said to me afterwards that they really enjoyed it, which was really nice.
Yeah.
It's been quite mental healthy this episode, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has.
Inadvertently. So we've got 3 would you rathers. Hopefully a bit funnier than what we've done up to now, and then we'll get off and I can have a shower and fall asleep. So this was one that Mum just randomly shouted out when I mentioned that we needed to pick some, and it was: would you rather be an eagle or a whale? So yeah, thanks, Mum. And I've not given it any thought until I just said it out loud. I assume if you chose to be a whale that you aren't scared of the sea, because that would be an insane existence, wouldn't it, to be a whale that was scared of the sea?
Yeah.
But I am terrified of the sea.
Yeah, same.
And I'm terrified of fish.
Yeah, I think I'd have to say eagle.
Did I tell you about when I was on holiday a few years ago with my ex-girlfriend? We were in Greece, and there was we were like right on the seafront, and there was like a little sort of, must have been a lake or something next to it.
Yeah.
And she knew what I was like. I didn't want to go in the sea because I didn't want to like see any fish or that freaked me out. Do you know what I mean? If stuff swam around me, I didn't enjoy it. So she was like, just walk into this little lake or whatever it was then, because there won't be anything in there because it's just a lake. So we walk in, and I started feeling stuff nipping at my legs. And I'm like, there's fucking fish in here and they're biting me. And she's like, there's not, you're being mental. I'm like, I swear down, something's just bit me, I'm getting out. And I was like freaking out a bit. I like ran out. Something's just bit me. And then we went to a bar that night. We got to know this family there who lived in Greece. They were Greek. We used to go to his bar every night and have a couple of drinks with him when he was like finishing up and stuff. And he was just a dead nice fellow. We really got on. And we're telling him about it, and she's telling the story, and she's like, he's, this wimp moaning about getting bitten. There's nothing in there, is there? And he was like, yeah, there's a little fish that bite you. And I was like, fucking yes, told ya. Like, prove me right. I was proper buzzing. Because she tried to, she wasn't trying to embarrass me, she was just taking the piss and having a laugh, do you know what I mean? And I was like, fucking get in. I've never been, because I'd won an argument without having to do anything. That made me, so I'm terrified of the sea, so I think I'd have to be an eagle as well.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be amazing to fly.
Yeah, it would.
But also, what eats eagles? You know what I mean? Something if you're another species of animal.
No, but eagles are prey as well, aren't they? So.
Yeah, true.
Well, not prey, they're predators.
I feel like if you're another, we don't wear out the food chain as humans, so you don't really think about it. But I think if you're another animal, you'd have to worry about that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But I suppose sharks could kill whales, couldn't they?
Yeah. And I'm absolutely terrified of sharks.
Same.
I'm terrified of anything, male.
Yeah.
I'm getting better with some things.
You're a bit like I was when I was younger, to be fair,
Yeah.
and then I've sort of grown out of something. So I think eagle.
Yeah,
just
I'm
because
gonna say eagle.
I'd love to be able to fly as well. I'd just love to see what it was like. This one made me laugh. I haven't thought too much about it, but it made me laugh because I think it's very on brand for our family.
Because it's like our humour.
Would you rather have to fart? It's so childish, our sense of humour. Would you rather have to fart loudly every time you have a serious conversation, or have to burp after every kiss? I'm not really sure with this one. I've been single for so long.
I think it'll be disgusting to burp after every kiss, though.
But serious conversations you're not just having with us. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, true.
Because if it was just in the house,
it'd be embarrassing either way.
Yeah, but we crack them all the time, don't we? So we'd be all right in the house. We probably fart during serious conversations all the time, and don't even
realise.
It doesn't even register because we just fart anyway.
I'm burp.
But I think, imagine if you were kissing someone and then you have to. I just think it ruins the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But then imagine, this morning when I was having that conversation at work, that was a serious conversation. So I'd have to fart loudly on that conversation. But I suppose I could have muted myself, but you can't do that in face to face. But it's a tough one that I think. But I also think that I would find farting loudly having a serious conversation hilarious.
I would.
So I think I'd
I'd
choose.
laugh my head off.
Yeah, I think I'd choose that because I'd enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'd laugh my head off.
The other person might be like, "What the fuck?" But I'd be like,
dying of laughter.
So I think I'd. Yeah. Yeah, you've got a fart, haven't you?
Yeah. I'd say far loudly.
Yeah. I mean, neither
Which
of
we
them
already do.
neither of them are great, but I suppose that's the point of the would you rather's, isn't it?
What a conversation.
I know. Well, let's put that one in, just because
Yeah,
we
it was
always laugh
funny.
about farting anyway.
This is always something that comes up. Even if, even if me and Mum are at our pieces, and then it always.
Yeah, it's all disgusting, that's why.
So are you.
I'm an angel.
Oh yeah, really?
Yes. I'm a sweet little angel.
Oh, that's right. I'm not angel.
And then third one, would you rather every third thought that you have you have to say it out loud, or you can never be alone no matter what you're doing?
I'd have to have alone time. Wait, does that mean for everything?
Yeah, no matter what you're doing.
Oh my god.
So when you're having a poo or a shower, you can't be alone, even then.
No. I'd rather have to do the thought.
Well, the thing with me with the thought one as well is I'm quite blunt anyway. Do you know what I mean? I'm not shy of saying what I think.
Yeah.
But then again, like I don't know if I've talked about this. I must have mentioned it before, but one of my biggest issues with sort of my mental health and stuff, and what causes me to like spiral at times, is the fact that my brain never really isn't doing something. So I'm constantly
your brain's on the go.
Yeah, so I'm always thinking about something, and I don't know. I like to think I'm say my opinions quite easily, but if I had to say every third thought out loud, everyone would realise just how crazy I am. Because I've spoken to people about this quite recently as well, and talked about the fact that like my brain's a bit mental, and people say that I present as someone who's got the shit together a little bit, whereas I absolutely have not. And my brain's just chaos, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like it would open the door for so many people to be like, that guy is nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas at the minute, I'm not sure loads of people think I'm nuts. You guys think I'm nuts. And Ben probably thinks I'm nuts because you are the closest people to me. So
Yeah.
you see sort of the mayhem that is my brain. So I'm having a conversation with you now.
Yeah.
And my brain is doing all the stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not like, so I'm speaking and I'm aware of what I'm saying and I'm thinking about what I'm saying, but I'm also thinking of like
Other
pigeons and shit.
things.
Do you know what I mean? Probably not pigeons, but you know, like that's the way it works. It's a bit.
Pigeons is a
It's because we were just talking about eagles and there's another bird.
What, after the Spanish pigeon thing?
Yeah. That clip did quite well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. What'd you find?
Can't remember what there was another one as well. It did quite well, but yeah, some of them clips did well. So thanks for whoever watched them.
Yeah.
And also, just a quick note, like when we post these clips, quite a lot of time goes into putting them together because I have to subtitle them and cut them down.
I think quite
and
a few of my friends watch them as well. So.
Yeah. So even if you see us post them, even if you don't watch them, if you could just share them, it makes so much difference because one of them clips has got like 2,000 views or something on Twitter, which is mental considering nobody.
Wasn't it on TikTok, not Twitter?
It was TikTok had like 1,500, I think.
Bloody hell! Wow.
But considering nobody knows who we are, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you could just share them if you see them, that'd be great. And
that's like a big help to us.
It means so much more than you think it does because it just helps get get it out there. And the last episode did better than the previous one, didn't it?
Yeah, because it helps us get a bit of a viewing platform, really, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
because obviously we're starting with no sort of nobody knows us.
Yeah.
We haven't got a platform. We're sort
Not
of
really,
trying to
no.
create one from scratch.
I mean, it's doing well so far. I mean,
yeah, and like we've talked about sort of off pod, haven't we?
Yeah.
We both are really enjoying it, and that's more important to me at the minute than views and stuff.
Yeah, because honestly, like, I'm really enjoying doing this.
And it's given us both something to focus on, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not everyday life bollocks. Did we answer that question?
Which?
Would you rather? I just went on a mad tangent about, can you please share our clips? So you have an every third thought, you have be out loud.
Yeah.
But do you not have like mental thoughts?
Sometimes, yeah, but
Yeah, but you can't not ever be alone, can you? That's so much worse, I think, isn't it?
I'd need me alone time.
Yeah. I can't.
Because like I'm a little bit independent, really, aren't I?
To be fair, I'm never alone anyway because of the bloody dog. But,
yeah, because she's attached to the hip.
But that's different, I suppose.
She's your dog.
Yeah. I couldn't have someone sitting there while I was having a shite. I just couldn't do it.
No. Oh, but you can have the dog lying there staring at you.
She doesn't care, does she?
No.
She doesn't know what's going on.
No, she doesn't speak.
No, exactly.
She does whine, though.
Yeah, so to answer that question...
I'd have to do every third thought.
I think I'd have to do every third thought as well, but it would mean that so many more people would realise that I'm crazy.
I know, but like, thing is though, I'd need me alone time.
Yeah, I think that never being alone is so much worse than people thinking you're nuts, isn't it? Yeah. I just completely didn't answer the question. I just went off on one. So yeah, that's it. That's the episode, I think. Just to finish off, we better do the socials, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
So you are
at XE Harrison X on Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram as well, at @TomFairlong_. The pod is on TikTok, Instagram and Twitter at siblingrivalpod.
And our email.
Do you know it?
siblingrivalpod@gmail.com. What?
Sibling Rivalry Pod, I think it is.
No, it's siblingrivalpodcast@gmail.com.
We've got an email address. It is siblingrivalpodcast@gmail.com.
Told you.
1-0 to Ellie. So yeah, that was a bit of a different episode, obviously, because I think it was quite mental health heavy, but
yeah,
that's been sort of what's been going on in our lives. So it's just is the conversation. So this is going to be out quite late than usual, but obviously I am soon to be unemployed. So
yeah, but you've had a lot going on in your head as well. So I think,
But yeah, they should be a bit more prepared. That was quite a raw, sort of unplanned episode, just because my head's been battered.
I think it went quite well though.
I enjoyed it,
even though there was barely any prep for this one.
I enjoyed it, and it's
so
it's done me the world of good to sort of talk about what I've been going through. So,
yeah, same.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Especially if you've bared with us all the way through that one, because it was. Is bared with us a word? If you put up with, you can tell I'm falling apart.
If you've like stuck with us,
if you've watched the full episode, thank you. Is essentially what I'm trying to say. And we'll be back next week, so we'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.